Let's paint a winter sunrise. Now I'm going to take a mop brush with yellow paint and white, starting in the middle of my canvas and doing back and forth strokes upward towards the top. And when I get about halfway, I'm going to go back in with some light purple. I didn't wash my brush. See how the purple and yellow kind of go together? And bring that all the way to the top. Now where the harsh line is, where the purple meets the yellow, I'm going to backtrack and blend that with a little bit of yellow. And then I'm going to go back in with white and make it lighter, because I always think of sunrise as being lighter in the winter. Then I'm going to take a clean mop brush and go the rest of the way down with just some white paint, because we're going to have a snowy area there, and then dry it really good for the next few steps. Now taking a medium round brush, now this is actually one of the smaller makeup brushes I use, but it makes really good texture. I'm going to take some darker purple now and start bouncing my brush across that line where the yellow meets the white. I'm just bouncing all the way across. And these are going to represent trees in the distance. Have you ever noticed foggy mornings when you're looking out at trees in the distance? Have you ever noticed how they kind of look like a shade of purple? That's what we're going for. And purple and yellow really complement each other. And since it's winter, I'm going to bounce and keep adding some white over top of them. I'm going to make some of them taller. This makes it look like the snow fell on them, but also gives them really nice highlights, bringing that into the dark purple. Make sure they're all different heights as you do this, because trees aren't all the same height in the nature. And then I'm going to take a toothpick. Now, you want to do this really fast before it dries, but if you take the toothpick and scratch up into that texture, it's going to look like tree trunks in the distance. How cool is that? It's lifting the paint up, and you can see some of that bright yellow through it, so that's just a really nice detail. And then taking my medium round brush again, this is the makeup version, I'm going to take a really dark navy and white and just clean up the bottom line of those trees, kind of planting them. And then because it's really dark, I'm going to go back in with white then and blend it in. Oh, look at that fade. This is kind of like a shadow, but it also gives you some variation and definition in this white area. You can think of this as like a frozen lake, or it could be just a snowy plot of land, but I like to blend that down so there's different shadows in it. Just FYI, I do dry my paint in between my different steps. That's what a lot of people ask. I just grab my hairdryer out of the bathroom. Couple seconds, you just blast it on high heat, and it's safe to touch. So, fun fact, that'll save you time. Now I'm going to take a medium round brush. Again, this is a pointed one that I use. And I'm going to take some dark brown and tan and do a line straight up to the top of my canvas on the left-hand side, and give him some branches. Now notice I'm pulling out in a V shape. That's important. And they can branch off into the right side of your picture. I also want some going off the page on the left, just to make it look a little bit more complete. Doesn't have to be super detailed, but this just does give you something else to look at in this picture, because it's such a pretty simple scene. I'm going to take some tan and add some highlights to that tree. Perfect. And don't forget some snow. Now I'm just going to take some chunks of white and make it look like it fell on the top parts of some of these branches. I'm not outlining my branches completely, but just doing them in little different sections. I feel like we need a little branch there. And now this is, I did say a sunrise, but sometimes you can see the moon, so I'm going to put a bright white moon in there. And let's see, let's use the toothpick. Now you can do big snowflakes with a toothpick. Just take some white and dot it on. But if you're like me, I'm obsessed with splatter snow, so I'm just going to add some splatter snow all over top of this. Now you could leave this painting this way, it's so simple, but I'm going to take my fan brush and some really dark blue that we used in the horizon line with a little bit of white, and just using it the wide way and the thin way. You can turn it to add different textures. I just want to add some grass, just something in the front to kind of force our eye upwards. It kind of frames the bottom. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. And that is my version of a simple sunrise scene for the winter. Have fun. This one has such pretty colors. I'd love to see what you do.